Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. This is an incredible week for us, and I want to welcome all of you to our first ever Spirit Week. A special welcome to all of our team members who have joined us from around the world for this first ever event. Make sure that you know this week is all about you. It's all about our team of inspired people who have been working tirelessly throughout this pandemic to make a difference for our company and our communities. Spirit Week is a way for us to celebrate our uncommon people who have been doing truly heroic work during this uncertain time. And I want to be the first to continue to thank you for all that great work. Thank you for all that you've done and will continue to do to keep each other safe and to continue to lift each other up. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am so proud to be on your team. To our plant professionals, you are heroes. Thank you for showing up in a big way. In some cases, working countless days to keep our production facilities going. I cannot wait to get into our plants and to be able to say a big personal thank you to all of you. To our supply chain team, thank you for ensuring we have the ingredients, the containers, the supplies, the transportation to get our products where they need to be. To our brand, marketing, and sales teams, thank you for continuing to build the value in our products and working collaboratively to ensure that we deliver to our customers and consumers. To our entire support organization, you've been there day and night, keeping our business going, never missing a beat as we've battled through this pandemic. And I would be remiss if I didn't give a huge shout out to our communications team for continuing to find ways to bring us together throughout this pandemic, like Spirit Week, because we committed early on that we would be transparent in everything that we do, and we committed that we would communicate with you, and we have kept our word, and we will continue on this mission as long as it takes. So tonight, we kick off our Spirit Week. And I hope you can find ways to participate and have a lot of fun. We're going to have entertainment each evening and events throughout the day. I'm really excited about our Spam Jam tomorrow night. Wednesday, we'll have a chance to connect over bacon and hear some music from our friends from Sriracha in Brazil. Thursday, we're going to kick off the day with a 5K anyway and celebrate our mission to give back to our communities as we have done throughout this pandemic. On Friday, we're really going to need all of you. Do you hear me? We need everyone to help us succeed as we attempt to set a world record for the world's largest pizza party. I can't wait, and I know we're going to be record holders when it's all said and done. But tonight, I have to tell you, tonight is a bit extra special. And our special guest tonight knows a thing about making things extra special. And we all need a bit of happiness and joy, and we need to find ways to bring people together. And Eric Whitacre does just that. He's a Grammy Award-winning composer and conductor. He's iconic in the world of music. He's received global attention for bringing innovation to music in the form of virtual choirs. And while he has created these virtual choirs for years, it's his most recent project, Sing Gently, that was specifically created to lift people's spirits throughout this pandemic. Eric and his amazing team brought together more than, listen to this, 17,000 singers from nearly 130 countries to perform Sing Gently. He brought people together when they needed it most and in the process, created truly beautiful music. It is my sincere pleasure to introduce Eric Whitacre, who will not only share his inspiration around Sing Gently, but will provide us all with a private viewing of the concert. And I want to make sure that you stay with us after Eric's performance, because we have another surprise for you, a world premiere of our Hormel Foods Choir, who will be sharing their version of Food is Love. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Eric Whitacre. I'm a composer and conductor living in Los Angeles. I'm so grateful to Jim Snee for giving me the opportunity to speak to nearly 20,000 Hormel employees around the world. Jim, as I've heard firsthand, has been an inspired leader, a leader in every sense of the word during these difficult times. And I also know that the entire Hormel team hasn't let anybody down. That's big. When I told my parents that I was going to be speaking to Hormel and to all of you, I have to tell you that they were really excited. Hormel has been a big part of my life growing up. We've eaten Hormel food and products my entire life. And yeah, it was thrilling for them to know that I'd be speaking to you. My life as a composer is an odd one. I spend most of my days alone here at the piano, and if I'm being honest, I'm certainly not dressed like this. I'm usually in a t-shirt and sometimes my underwear, and I'm just trying to write music, just trying to put two notes together and make something that's beautiful and true and honest. And then the time comes for the big premiere, and that's a very extroverted affair. We all wear tuxedos, and there's lots of lights, and we take big bows from the stage. And when this piece is finally finished, then, when it's received its premiere, it goes into the publication mode. And what that means in my world is it gets turned into sheet music and goes out to orchestras and choirs all over the world. The thing is, though, until the advent of the internet, a composer would never really know what impact their work was actually having. The piece would go out, it would get performed, and maybe you would hear about the performance, but you'd never get to hear firsthand from the performers or audience members until the internet. And 10 years ago, a young woman named Britlin Losey uploaded a video to me on YouTube. She didn't know me. She kind of uploaded it into the dark, hoping that it would find me like some electronic message in a bottle. And it did. Here's a little bit of Britlin's video.
Hi, Mr. Eric Whitacre. My name is Britlin Losey, and this is a video that I'd like to make for you. Here's me singing Sleep. I'm a little nervous, just to let you know. If
I thought Britlin's video was extraordinary. Her voice was so pure, her intention was so pure, and I had this very simple idea watching it. I thought, if I could get 25 people to do the same thing that Britlin was doing, if they just sang their part, soprano, alto, tenor, or bass, they could be anywhere. They could be in their kitchen, their dorm room, their living room, and as long as they were singing at the same speed, the same tempo, and in the same key, if they just uploaded all of their videos to YouTube, and I literally pushed play, started them all at the same time, a choir would have to unfold, right? A virtual choir. So that's exactly what I tried. The first question, though, came from the singers. How are we all supposed to sing in the same tempo, at the same speed? So I had this idea. I uploaded a video of myself conducting in complete silence. You can hear there's no sound because there's no choir yet. I'm imagining all of that in my head. I can tell you the people in the studio thought that I was completely insane while I was filming this. Then I uploaded that to YouTube. I uploaded the music so that people could download it. And I sent a call to singers on Facebook and on my website and said, okay, here we go, gang, let's try this. And I really didn't know if anybody would do it. But lo and behold, singers began to upload their videos. This is Cheryl Ang from Singapore. This is Evangelina Etienne from Massachusetts. This is Stephen Hansen from Sweden. And this is Jamal Walker from Texas. There's even a short soprano solo near the beginning of the piece, and I chose Melody Myers from Tennessee. Effortless, right? I don't know if you can read the top comment, but it says, "You melt my face off." Indeed. All told, we had 185 singers from 12 different countries upload their videos. And it was only at this point in the process that I realized I know nothing about video editing. I'm a composer and a conductor, not an editor. And I blogged about this. And this young man named Scott Haynes, who at the time was only 22 years old, emerged from the crowd and said, "This is the project I've been looking for my whole life." I wrote back to Scott and said, "Scott, I've been looking for you my whole life." And Scott spent about 3 months editing the video together. There's 2 components. He needs to edit all of the videos and make them look beautiful. But more importantly, he has to edit the audio, the sound. In some of the videos you can hear there's a hiss behind them, in Jamal's especially. That's normal. It's computer hiss or it's the air conditioning. But in some of the videos that I didn't show you, you can hear an ambulance in the background or crickets. There's one video where you can hear a young man's mother off screen yelling at him saying, "What are you doing in there with the singing?" So all of that has to be very carefully mixed. And as I say, Scott spent about 3 months on that, got it all ready. And then in March of 2010, we uploaded to YouTube our very first virtual choir. It's called Lux Aurumque, which is Latin for light and gold. I never imagined that anyone would want to see this video other than my fellow choir geeks. But the video went viral. In the first week, we had over 1 million views, and then it got picked up by the international news media. And suddenly, over social media, I was receiving thousands of messages from singers from around the world saying, "What is this? When is the next one? How can I be a part of this?" I didn't ever think there would be a second one. But hearing the singers and how passionate they were, I thought, we have to do this. We have to try again, see what happens. So 1.5 years later, we launched Virtual Choir 2.0, this time to a piece that I'd written called Sleep. 2,052 singers from 58 countries. And the countries represented were incredible. There were singers from Pakistan and India, from Egypt, Jordan, Israel, from 7 countries on the African continent, as far north as the Great Alaskan Bush and as far south as New Zealand. Almost overnight, our little choir experiment had become a global choir, an earth choir, and more singers wrote in saying, "This is incredible, when is the next one?" And so 2 years later, we launched Virtual Choir 3.0, Water Night. $3,756 videos from 73 different countries. And we were hearing from all of these singers these stories of how they bonded, how they felt connected to each other, even though they'd never met. There was a vibrant community growing on social media, people reaching out to each other, becoming lifelong friends. There's even a young man and young woman whose videos happened to be near each other, and they saw each other, fancied each other, wrote to each other. They got engaged and they're now married. Just extraordinary connections happening and beautiful stories within that. There's the story of a man who had sung in choirs as a young man and then had gone legally blind, and for 30 years had been unable to sing in a choir because he couldn't see the conductor. Now, for the first time, he was able to get close enough to his computer screen to see my little conductor video. He joined the virtual choir. There was a woman who had been singing with her mother since she was a young girl. It was a tradition that they had together. And her mother was sadly dying of cancer in hospice. And so she recorded her video holding her mother's hand just off screen as a timeless tribute to her. There was a man from Cuba who desperately wanted to be part of the virtual choir, but because of government regulations, was unable to send us an email larger than 1 meg. And so we got our team together with him, taught him how to split it into 26 1 meg files. He sent them all over to us. We stitched them together. Cuba became part of the virtual choir. And as we were doing all of this, we decided, let's see how far we can push the bounds. How far can we take the genre of virtual choir? So we tried a virtual choir that combined pop music. We teamed up with legendary British producer Guy Sigsworth on Fly to Paradise. For Virtual Choir 5, we teamed up with the Space Telescope Science Institute and NASA to make a piece, a massive tribute to the Hubble telescope. This was Deep Field. One of the guiding principles that we've held to during all of the virtual choirs is that there are no auditions. Everybody who uploads a video gets in. Doesn't matter if they're a seasoned singer or if they've never sung before. they get to be part of the team. And we've had singers as young as 5 and as old as 99, all races, creeds, and colors represented. And very much like the team at Hormel, we do that because we believe that each person counts. Every singer is essential, that by being part of something larger than oneself, it creates an unbeatable team. It creates a special magical experience. And when we finished Virtual Choir 5, I think we all thought that we had reached the end of the genre, as much as we could do with it. You know, we'd gone to the edge of the known universe. We'd had thousands of people from over 100 countries involved. And then the pandemic hit. And we were hearing from singers everywhere that not only could they not sing together, maybe you read in the news, singers had been branded as super spreaders, that the act of singing was somehow very dangerous, that getting together in a room with people and breathing and singing could transmit the virus easier than almost anything else. And suddenly this very benign, benevolent art form of singing became a threat. And I think I thought to myself, if there was ever a time for a virtual choir, it's now. And I was very inspired by the Japanese art form Kintsugi. I'm holding a piece here that my wife made. Isn't this gorgeous? And Kintsugi is a tradition that's hundreds of years old. But the basic idea is that a piece of ceramic or a pot, something special to the owner, is broken. And instead of discarding it, or instead of simply gluing it and mending it, you mend it with gold. You see the gold epoxy there? And the idea is that by illuminating the scars, you don't forget them, but you make it stronger and more beautiful once it's been healed. And this is very much how I see society going forward. The pandemic has broken us apart. And slowly, we will come back together. We will heal. This gold light of empathy and compassion and humanity will bring us together stronger and more beautiful than we were before. So that's why we made Sing Gently. This is Virtual Choir 6. I know that these times have been difficult for everyone, but they would be dramatically more difficult if people didn't have food. And so speaking to all of you that work for Hormel, on behalf of myself and all the singers of the virtual choir, thank you. Thank you for what you've done, working tirelessly to make sure that people had food. I know now that Hormel has made its own virtual choir. This thrills me to no end. And that the piece that they'll be singing is what the world needs now. What the world needs now is love, and food is love. And what each of you are doing by coming together and working so hard through this pandemic is an act of love. Again, I'm truly grateful, and I'm grateful to all of you, to Jim Snee, and to your families for allowing me into your home. Be well, be safe, take care.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another mountain.
There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb.
There are oceans and rivers
enough to cross, enough to last.
till the end of time.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another middle.
Can't feel and we feel.
Enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams.
Enough to shine or listen, Lord.
If you want to know
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, oh, but just for everyone.
oh, is the love.
It's love, sweet love.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
It's the love.
sweet love.
Oh, is the love.
Love, oh love.
Wow. That did not disappoint. What an incredible evening. Eric, a sincere thank you from Hormel Foods to you and the choir for a truly inspirational event. To the Hormel Foods team, that was amazing. What an incredibly talented group of employees we have, and thank you for sharing Food is Love. Remember, tonight's just the beginning. We've got an amazing week of spirit-filled activities for you. Please join us every step of the way. It's going to be a great week. Have a great night.